Hello, we start with this month's Lifeline appeal, which is made by Helena Bonham Carter.
Imagine being trapped in a world you struggle to understand. There's no way out. You'd like to be part of it, but you don't know how. You feel isolated, vulnerable.
Too many colours, red and pink. I don't like pink. I really don't like pink.
People may come and talk to you. You're not always sure what they mean.
Clock's ticking, getting louder, won't stop ticking.
This is what life with autism can be like. When Harriet Lampton was 2 years old, she was diagnosed with severe autism.
The second consultant we saw said if you imagine an autistic child with one gene for autism, with Harriet you're looking at a child with 5 or 6 genes for autism. And it was terrifying, absolutely terrifying.
Like all parents of children with autism, Margaret and Nigel really needed somewhere to turn. That was the National Autistic Society, the UK's leading charity for people with autism and their families. The first thing Margaret and Nigel signed up to was the NAS Early Bird programme.
I think that was a turning point, actually, the Early Birds programme. I met 5 other families in exactly the same situation as me. They teach you how to delicately engage with your child, and towards the end of that, she started coming out of herself.
I wish Harriet wasn't so autistic, then she would play with me a lot more and I wouldn't be so lonely most of the time. Harriet has to get all the attention and I get quite a little attention, but I do feel happy when I'm looking after Harriet as well. Alex loves Harriet.
Harriet is one of around 500,000 people living with autism in the UK today. That's a staggering 1 in every 110. It's more common than Down syndrome and cerebral palsy combined. 35-year-old Chris Easton has Asperger's syndrome, another form of autism.
I'll put my sunglasses on. I'll start with the yellow ones. Sunglasses to me give me good feelings and they help me to cope with the situation when it's awkward. I like the idea of having mauve ones. 3/4 red, 1/4 blue. That sounds nice to me. It's like, it gives a certain power, you know, it really is good.
2 years ago, Chris's parents signed up to the National Autistic Society's befriending scheme, and Chris met 23-year-old Mark Walker.
What a befriender is, I think, is someone who's willing to give up their time, someone who can afford not to be too judgmental. As well as making his life easier, I've learned so much more about how we can make their lives a little bit easier as well.
The National Autistic Society is a real lifeline, helping people every step of the way. 19-year-old Nathan Pilgrim has attended the NAS Sybil Elgar School since he was 11.
The reason why we decided to send him, because of his vulnerability, that he wouldn't fit into mainstream, and we didn't want to take that risk. And what has benefited him here, most of all, is even more social interaction, even more communication. He lives for the dance, and then hopefully that will be his passport to further development for him.
At the moment, the National Autistic Society helps 100,000 people every year, but that's only 1/5 of those affected. They really do need your donations to continue and expand to reach many more people.
I've got to ensure that Harriet reaches her full potential and is happy, and that's all I can ask for.
There's much more that it can be done. I feel that NAS has to be really put in the forefront of this to say, well, look, they need supported.
I always look at myself in the mirror and think, yeah, he's a good guy. Why does he have to suffer like that? You know, it's true. So I don't know if people can accept me as I am, but that's where I am.
Please help the National Autistic Society reach many more people with autism and their families. £10 will help pay for play equipment at an NAS school. £20 will help train an NAS befriender like Mark. £40 will enable a helpline advisor to give 8 people life-changing support. Whatever you give will go directly to those families who most need help now. You can call right now, 0800 093 9394. That number again, 0800 093 9394. Please do give right now. Thank you so very much.
If you'd like to send a donation by post, please make your cheque payable to National Autistic Society and send it to NAS Free Post BBC Lifeline. That's NAS Free Post BBC Lifeline, and that's all you need on your envelope, and you don't need a stamp. Now, how often do you think about jacking in the day job and jetting off to the other side of the world? But rather than just lazing in the sun on a far-flung beach somewhere, how about actually doing something where you'll really make a difference? Career breaks are the next big thing. Each year, thousands of people opt out of the rat race and work as volunteers in developing countries, and they return with a whole new perspective on life, with their CVs brushed up, and more importantly, having passed on their skills and expertise to the communities they leave behind. VSO, Voluntary Service Overseas, is one such charity that wants you to sign up. You could be one of the 1,500 volunteers a year that are placed in over 30 countries worldwide. There are opportunities for everyone, from social workers to marine biologists and physiotherapists. But they really need doctors, nurses, head teachers and business managers too. All you need is a formal qualification and some work experience. Your basic costs will be covered by VSO, and you would normally live and work as part of a local community for up to 2 years. But there are short-term placements too. To find out more about volunteering, call VSO on 020 8780 7500. That's 020 8780 7500. Or you can log on to vso.org.uk. Now, if you're thinking, I really fancy a career break, but all you've got is a few weeks and no specific skills, then don't fret. Earthwatch is just the answer. This international environmental charity has projects all across the globe, from creating safe havens for crocodiles in Botswana's Okavango Delta to charting the ecosystem of the world's biggest fish, the whale shark, in the tropical waters off the coast of Western Australia.
There's so many different aspects to it, because so often you hear things about, it's all about the animals, and the people are excluded, and I don't think that's right. So this one I think is amazing because it's actually the people of the community that are doing the conservation.
Volunteers don't need special skills or qualifications, just loads of energy and enthusiasm, as training is included in the money you raise before the trip. This year alone, 4,000 volunteers will be sent to work with scientists in more than 50 countries, people just like you and me. So come on then, if you've always yearned to take some time out and do something completely different, here's your chance. You'd learn a lot and greatly improve your own career prospects when you get back. And it will be an experience of a lifetime too. Full details are online at earthwatch.org, or during working hours you can call 01865 318 831. That's 01865 318 831. Thanks very much.